Namaste, my beautiful beloveds. I'm at Igatpuri's long course center, which is Tapovan, and I'm here for my 30 days. Yay. Much awaited, much longed for, and I'm super excited, super ready for this one this time. Going in with a very positive mindset, in a very positive space, surrounded with loving energies, just blessed. I feel like this is going to be a very powerful one for me, and I'll let you know more as I go in. I will show you my room, a little bit about the center, and here I am waiting at the gate for my papa to arrive from Nasik. I've come from Mumbai, and we're going to meet here, share our love for each other, and I'm also going to give him the Tirupati Balaji laddus that I've got for him, and some beautiful dhoti kurta for my nephew, and then head inside towards my room, check in and switch off all the gadgets for the next 30 days. And here I am! That's my papa, my sister, and my sweet nephew. They've come to drop me here. Such a blessing to have my papa's and my family's blessing on this journey. And this is my room, room 34. So refreshing. So I'm going to set this up later. I've already given away my phone, so I'm recording this on my dad's phone. I'm going to take them to the canteen and see if there's any food available for them as well, and for my little nephew. Cool. See you on the 30th. Hi everyone! This is my 30th day of the 30 days Vipassana, and we've finally given this phone in our hands today. We broke our maun, that's the noble silence, yesterday, and spent the whole day interacting with other sadhikas and sadhaks. And today we're given the phone to get in touch with the world outside. What a beautiful 30 days experience this has been, and I cannot recommend this enough, that you, every single one who's watching this video, have to come and experience this 30-day evolution towards mukti, towards liberation, towards freedom from so many sankharas that are deeply entrenched in our mind. We are not aware of what mess we are carrying within us, and it needs to be eradicated. And a beautiful, soulful, positive, free life, full of maitri, that is love, unending, unperturbed, infinite love for one and all, for every being, for every creation of the universe, and with lots of equanimity and goodwill. Do good, keep doing good, keep doing good. As Guruji very beautifully explains that Gautam Buddha took many kalpas to be born as a Buddha, to attain his enlightenment, his freedom, and then teach it to others, not just keep it to himself. So he had to go through thousands and thousands and thousands of lifetimes, many kalpas, And in those kalpas, it is said that he kept doing punya, he kept doing good, eradicating his old sankharas, eradicating, removing, doing good. Oh my God. We have so much work to do. How much good have we done so far in our lives? We've just begun. And this, coming to these long courses in Vipassana, is a beautiful good deed that you do. It's punya. It's so powerful. Like you're removing so much filth and dirt that's accumulated in our minds. We don't even realize. There were times where I was seeing things which I had not noticed before, which I had forgotten completely of, and they were surfacing to be removed. They surface to be removed. They surface to be removed, and we have to watch it equanimously. And it's a tough thing to watch painful memories come up and have them go, passing away. Anicca. It's not easy. I went to the teacher on the 25th day and I told her that I feel like I am in some mental asylum because same thoughts and then deeper memories from those painful experiences arising, and I'm feeling the pain. It's so excruciating, and I've come here to purify myself. I've come here to feel good, empty, blissful, but these experiences and me living them again is just unbearable for me. Like, it was too much. I finally went to the teacher, and then she beautifully explained why we have to keep doing it, watch the sensations, watch with vairagya, watch with anicca bhava, that it's arising, passing, watch with equanimity, samta bhava. I told her it's easier said than done. That's what she said. That's why this is a 30-day course, and it's not a 1-hour course where people come, they're taught, they're said, okay, they're told watch your sensations with equanimity and send back home. No, this is not a 10-day course, this is not a 20-day course, this is a deep 30-day operation, and I felt like I was not capable of handling, that bala was not there to handle this deep operation. It's a deep operation, but somehow with teacher's Maitri, and I'm glad I went and shared with her what I was going through, I got back on track and I said, okay, no problem, I will watch. Thought arising, pain, okay, what sensations, where am I feeling? Okay, watch. That's all I did. Came back on track. Didn't take much time because teacher's blessings and the bhumi's vibrations, they all encourage you, they help you. Everything here helps you. That's why this Tapa Bhumi is so beautiful. I'm in Igatpuri, by the way, Tapa 1. And every Tapa Bhumi, it has those vibrations which help you. If you ask for help, ask for Maitri from Buddha, from the universe, that give you that bala, that strength, that perseverance to carry on, keep working. Work is to watch your sensations with anicca bhava, that it's coming, going. Oh my God, the number of times Guruji, Goenkaji repeats this, and still we don't get it. We get it, but we don't get it. It's just amazing. One biggest realization that I've had in this one, and also my previous 10-day course, is all pain lies in raga. So it's not just the painful experiences we need to eradicate, but the raga-bhare experiences, the pleasurable ones, where all there's dhara pravaha, there's chul samadhi, that this little, oh my God, there's absolutely no thought, this bliss, there's no sensation also, because in those few seconds there's just anand, bliss, priti, all over priti, those little samadhi moments. they are also not supposed to be looked at as raga, like I want that, again I want that, I want more, I want it for more time. So those moments and all the pleasurable moments is where the next birth arises. You are forming new births, because in that raga moment of raga, there's lots of dvesh which is going to follow, which you're not aware of. When you start doing vipassana, you will know how raga is followed by dvesha. Where there's dvesha, there's lots of trishna, there's lots of pain, and then bhava means next birth. So every raga we are creating new births. Every raga, new birth. Every raga, there's new birth. So we got to watch our raga also, our pleasures, our pleasurable sensations with anicca bhava. That yes, this mudita and this beautiful, blissful sensation is happening throughout the body. Let me enjoy it. No, watch it with anicca bhava. That it's come, it's beautiful. Yes, acknowledge and let it pass. That's one of the biggest lessons I've learned in this one. And second one is that it's a realization, actually, that in samadhis there are 8 stages of samadhi. We as beginners just about touch the tip of the first samadhi. That's it. In maybe if you're lucky and if you've done good effort, good vipassana, the first samadhi, the tip of it, you may experience. And there's of course more. So in those 8 stages of samadhi, in concentration form of dhyan, which is the yogic dhyan, the anapan, you reach until the 8th samadhi. But you don't get nirvana. You don't get liberation. That is freedom from life cycles. You get into the deep state of samadhi where there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. And these samadhis give you births in Rupa Loka, that is form, that is higher lokas, Devlok, Brahmalok. These are Rup Loks. There are 4 of them, I believe. And there you take birth with body. And you live kalpas, thousands of years. But when you have to die, at the moment of death, you realize that, oh my God, I'm going to die, which means I have to take birth again. And because I have not done work on eradicating my sankharas, past sankharas, whichever sankhara arises at the moment of death is the loka you will be born in next. So if it's a positive sankhara, you go take birth in a higher loka. And if it's a negative sankhara, then you are born in a lower loka. And you have no control over your sankharas. Which one arises? Because you've not done enough mind work. And if you've not done enough mind work, if you've not done enough eradication, then the samadhi is only going to take you from one loka to another. So there are these Rupa Loka and there's Arupa Loka, where you don't get a body. You don't have a body. You're formless. You're just formless. You don't have a body. Which means you cannot practice Vipassana in those lokas. Which means you can't work on your liberation. So those who are born in Arupa Loka have to wait for kalpas to be born in either a Rupa Loka, where they have a body to work on with Vipassana practice, or as a human body, as a human being on the human plane, in this human Loka. Aren't we lucky that we are born in this human form today, where we have the ability to concentrate, to focus, go inward, watch our sensations, eradicate. And we are born in a loka where Vipassana is being taught. All these suvidhas, all these, the squatters, where there's water coming, there's light, electricity, There's food being served, everything's cooked for you, there's laundry service, there's everything. Whatever you need, there's somebody who's going to operate the hall, play the sound, the instructions. There are teachers who are giving seva, there are Dhamma Sevikas. You just have to come here and do as you are instructed. Watch your sensations with Anicca Bhava. It is so easy if you look at it. Just watch your sensations. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening here? What's happening here? Sense, and no, it's going, it's going. Nothing's permanent. It's going, it's going. Nothing's permanent. It's so easy, but it's so difficult. It's so easy that it is so difficult. We don't understand easy stuff. We don't need complex mantras and sound meditation, some instructions given to us, day in and out, imaginations, some images to be, thought of in our mind. We have to switch off all senses. Then only you go into samadhi. Not to let go of all senses. Everything. Eventually you have to let go of everything. Everything. So, and this is the only meditation I have come across that teaches you to watch yourself and whatever surfaces in that moment of silence is to be eradicated. It surfaces because it needs to be eradicated. It's coming up because it needs to be eradicated. It gets eradicated only when you watch it with equanimity, with Anicca Bhava, that it's impermanent, it's passing away, with that bhava, that knowing, that knowledge, realization, deep realization. That's it. I've had a tough 30 days. I won't say it was very easy. The first 11 days, 10 days actually, is just focusing on Anapan and getting integrated, just developing our concentration. And the 11th day, we start doing Vipassana. First 10 days, the first day, I was so high. As you've seen, my family had come and I'd come back from my birthday celebration where my sister bought these, she gifted me these lovely earrings. These are Igai creations. And this is a lost art form in India. And these beautiful. So I was so high because my family had come to meet me and I just returned back from my birthday celebration in a spiritual festival that I had attended, and I thought it was going to be easy peasy. I'm so high and I thought I'm going to glide through this whole course, and the teachers who were sitting for this Vipassana course, they are continuing for the 45 days course. But it was going to be easy, but it was not. The first day was full of raga, all blissful sensations, all beautiful. Oh my God, I'm on a high. Second day, I entered into a very deep state of, that nothingness. I experienced that deep dive into the depths, and I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, this is going so great. By the 5th day, I was like, no, oh my God, what's coming up? All terrible. I had nightmares, I had dreams, wild dreams, and so much was coming up. I was seeing so many unknown faces in my dreams, and I was also seeing a lot of stuff I had never seen before in my meditation. So I was like, what's happening? I can't focus, there's so much happening. So 5th day, I went to the teacher and asked her, okay, what are these dreams? What's happening? So she said, meet me on the last day, I'll then answer you. You continue doing your sadhana. I said, okay, fine. So I continued doing my sadhana. Then 11th day Vipassana, we started. I think it was around 17th day, 16th or 17th day. I went back to the teacher and I said, my back is hurting. Can I take support? I always sit without support on the cushion. But can I take a back support? Because I had a lower back pain issue when I had gone to climb Aconcagua, the mountain, one of the tallest mountains in Argentina, the tallest in Latin America actually. So I developed a little back pain from then, and I noticed my body froze once on the 15th or 16th day, and I was hesitant to take back support. But I went and asked for one. It was immediately provided, no questions asked. He said, you want it? Okay, continue practicing, don't get distracted. My realization after I sat with the back to rest was that my sadhana changed. So there is a connection between taking back support and sitting without support. And it's a very subtle experience, It's not a stool experience. It's a very subtle realization, only if you're paying attention to it. So I realized that I became very relaxed when I took back support and sat. I became relaxed. I sat easy. My mindset changed. And in 2 days' time, I took some support. I would then sit ahead without the support on the same back support seat. And then again sit back with relaxed, lower back. Again sit forward. 2 days I did, and then later I just kept sitting forward because I realized that there's no point in taking back support. My Vipassana is not happening properly, the way it should. Then a few days later, I just went to teacher and I asked her that is taking back support, advisable? And is there a subtle energy difference if you take and not take? And she nodded. She said something so powerful to me. She said, Athani Athano Natho. You be your own guru. You learn with your experiences, not because somebody is telling you. The very same day, I think it was the 22nd day, I removed the backrest. So I asked her, should I remove it because I'm anyways not using it? I'm sitting forward. So should I do it? Does it make a difference? Keep it, let it be. She said, up to you. You decide. You want to keep it? I said, it's just there for namesake. I'm not using it. So I removed it. I removed the back support. So subtle. And my teacher was just powerful. She is really, really powerful. Prerna Parab. That auntie is just super. बहुत तपी हुई है. She's done so much. And I could feel that. You don't feel that with every teacher. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, no. But this teacher is बहुत high level. She's done a lot of sadhana. I could sense it with her Maitri, with her answers to my questions, with her guidance. All that mattered, and so much has eradicated. Biggest sankhara that I had, which had been recently developed, was the fear of not having enough to keep doing this sadhana priority life, to be able to keep doing these long courses without focusing on the money aspect, which is how to create it and then go after clients, and then how do I go away from the clients for so long, and I want to do more and more of these long courses, 45 days, 60 days. So all that fear got absolutely eradicated. It took 30 days or 29 days, I would say, but just poof. And now I'm going to do everything, those yoga sessions my clients are waiting for. I'm going to just do it online, put it on YouTube and give it away. Just do it for free, or maybe make it donation based. Whoever wants to can donate. And so I'm not even serving my students who want to practice with me, and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I am also going to do my duty. I will share my talents and gifts with the world and not run after money. That's it. This has been the biggest benefit. The biggest sankhara that got removed was the fear of money, and I don't have any other fears in life. I never had. I don't fear debt. I don't fear anything. There's nothing. There's nothing that I'm clinging on to in life. Just this one thing, little bit was there, and it's gone. It's gone. The universe has been so kind, and I'll be taken care of. Wherever I'll have a place to live, I will have food to eat, I will have everything. I'll have good clothes to wear, take care of myself. I am in abundance already. So no fear. So that's completely gone. And another big exercise was to forgive an illustrator I worked with who wanted some more money, wanted to exploit my innocence of not signing a contract with her. So she was asking for more money. I paid her full fees in total, but she wanted more, and then because of that I had some tiff with her, and that's completely gone. I have just only Maitri and Karuna for her now. There were moments where I thought, Chodna, I don't want those illustrations only, I don't want to work on the book also, forget it, just let's work on liberation, let's work on Vairagya, Sadhana. But no, I want to do it properly, and whatever karmic cycle that I have with her, whatever sankharas there are, whatever trauma bonding that has happened, I just want to delete it with love. Just love. There's just more love. I love Vipassana. I just love Vipassana. And these transformations, deep transformations, it's not from here. My love is not from here. Logically, I'm not forgiving. I'm forgiving from my heart. From here. Purely. It's just love. That's it. I kept asking this question, after asking how to get moksha. My second question was how to be full of love. How to be love. All the time. How to be love. Epitome of love. No judgment, no nothing. Just love. It's to keep asking. And this is it. Vipassana is the answer for everything. I hope you enjoyed listening to my video, and there are a couple of other people I will ask permission of if they can share their experiences with you. It'd be wonderful. But for now, from me, I send you lots of Maitri. खूब मंगल हो, खूब मुक्ति हो आपकी, खूब तरक्की हो इस मार्ग पर. आप सब इस मार्ग का भरपूर लाभ ले. May you all be liberated. Please make the most of this path that is so pure and easily available to us. May you all be liberated. May you all be happy, peaceful, joyful, equanimous. May you all be liberated. खूब मंगल हो आपका, खूब मंगल हो, खूब कल्याण हो और स्वस्थ मुक्ति हो. स्वस्थ मुक्ति. I love you. I love you from the bottom of my heart. And I have the beautiful Sharada, who's also done the 30 days with me, and she'll share her words of wisdom, her experience, so that you all feel inspired to attend the 30 days course. Here is this beautiful woman. So Sharada, please tell us how your experiences have been.
It's really a wonderful. It's my first course, 30 days. And this Dhamma Tapo one, it's completely in the nature, and no disturbance, and the experience is wonderful. Goenka sir's audio, as it is we hear, but we feel that naturally he is alive in front of us, and the vibrations we get. Now I am speaking about, really I am getting the response on my face and here in the air also. Yes, there's such vibrations are there here, and I am so fortunate for it that I could do well. I could do well without any disturbance, and I experienced whatever the sir said. Of course, this is a hard job. We can't say it's a simple task, easy task. But Goenka sir says it's possible, not impossible. Yeah, and he gives support like as a small kid how to walk on the path. He holds us and he just takes us smoothly to a destination where he witnessed it. and he asked us to witness it.
How beautiful, how beautiful. Any like difficulties you faced and you overcame with just patience that the sadhaks also might be scared of and you would like to share and say, hey, I've done it.
Difficulties in the sense of course, it is individual matter first of all, right? So if I say my personal difficulties, very lightly I faced because I determined first one thing. That,
Superb.
yeah. So when we determined and when we take the decision, so definitely the discipline must be followed.
Superb.
So when we follow the discipline, we don't get any difficulties because step by step we go. It's not like jumping. Yes. So that's I have taken.
Superb. Great. Any last words of wisdom, or why should they, the 10-dayers or the newcomers, aspire to come for a 30-day course?
Really, it is what I can mean to say that for the newcomers, the education what we have learned outside the world, of course the tales we have in the sense of degrees, MA, PhD and all these things. एक हिंदी में एक कहावत है जैसे पापी पेट का सवाल है, right? So वो कैसा होता है बोले तो वो तो चाहिए ही, जीने के लिए तो चाहिए, लेकिन जो मकसद है हम यहाँ पे आए हैं, कि हमने जो जन्म लिया है क्या मकसद है उसका, तो ये यहाँ मिल रहा है हमको. So this is a true education. This is wisdom what we are learning. Where the outside world, it's going with the knowledge, but wisdom should also be equal.
Super.
It's not that the knowledge will go and wisdom will be the down. The knowledge somewhere it will be comes down.
Yeah.
Okay. We have seen many intellectual people outside. Scientifically, they have invented many things. Yes, but this invention and this discovery is really universal. It is. It's not for one sectarian. As Goenka sir, Goenka Guruji, he says number of times, repeatedly, like he hammers us. It should reach to that point. So that's called here. It's a pure education, pure technique, and technically we will move. It's not any dogma or any other thing of not criticizing of other caste, creed, religion, so and so. It's not at all like that. Respecting all beings.
Beautiful.
That's.
Oh my God, so beautiful, Shada ji, so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You too, Shada ji. May you be happy. Khub mangal ho. Hope you liked her sharing. Yes. Hope you like listening to her experience and feel inspired to come walk on this beautiful pure path. बस सब मुक्ति हो, सबका मंगल हो, and और क्या चाहिए? What more do you want? This is the beautiful walking area that you can come and walk on. Go down there. That's the pagoda, and come back up here. It's great for the knees, as my friend here, she's the one who's discovered this. I did not know for all these days. I never came up here, but
it's my duty.
It's my duty. Share your experience and what you have to tell.
Definitely, I really would like to share with everybody that now this Vipassana is like giving us a life which we think from nothing to something, because in our daily life all of us face challenges wherein there is a lot of thanklessness. Here we are like in gratitude and in self-love, in compassionate love, empathy, and we are only told that implementation is the basic aspect. You'll find so many intellectuals talking about this, but here even Buddha focused on implementation, and the resources that have been given here, and they are so conducive. so is the environment, the weather conditions. It's unimaginable. I'm so in gratitude towards Guruji, Pujya Shri Goenka ji, who's a Vishwa Vipashanacharya. May you grow in Dhamma. In each birth we get this radius of Dhamma. Thank you, my dear Vasundhara.
Thank you so
So
much,
is the
Sunaina.
beautiful name, and so is she's a real royal lady, and a very so much pious and so much purity in her what you call efforts towards to express the gratitude that the sweetness of the fruit that we have tasted. So it's her intention towards this making of video that fruit, that sweetness, others should also be experiencing. And believe in yourself. Don't listen to everybody, but listen to your what mind says. Follow your instinct. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sunaina. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure
Thank
always.
you. Really,
My
really.
pleasure always.
So she's a very good raga booster. All the nice things that she was saying that I was telling you about raga.
See, I would like
beautiful sensations running through the body, but everything's such anicca, passing away. All these food ke jo mudita or kya.
Empathy, compassionate love. You know, I would can I
She has empathy, compassionate love, but I was getting all nice feelings. That is anicca, and that is the path to freedom.